Today's topic is riding in extreme heat. I'm gonna give you 10 tips to avoid exhaustion and many problems. Precisely where I'm here, blue skies. Woo! It was cold today here, around 7-8 degrees, and I needed to ride around 60-70 kilometers outside of Varna and then come back. Man, I got a lot of freezing moments today, but it is what it is. Winter, it's at least. Vato, I only missed a couple of your streams, but watch it later. Excellent. Appreciate everything you say. I'm patiently waiting, then I can go road with a month or two. Thank you very much for taking the time, Vato. The streams are not so interesting and usually very long. And if you take so much time to watch it, I highly appreciate it. Today's topic is riding in extreme heat. I'm gonna give you 10 tips to avoid exhaustion and many problems. And as usual, I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, maybe 30 minutes, something like that. I will cover 10 different tips that will help you to ride in extreme heat. And then after I finish, as usual, you can ask me questions or you can add many things on this topic as well. And riding in extreme heat can drain you faster than you think. If you do it wrong, you risk exhaustion or even heat strokes. Riding in the extreme heat is not a joke and should be taken very seriously, guys, because it might finish very badly if you don't know what are you doing. And as I said, I'm gonna give you 10 tips that will definitely help you because I already test them out. And if you're wondering what is my experience with it, I already wrote in many different countries on temperatures over 40 degrees, like Pakistan 42, India and Nepal over 43-4 degrees. I've been to Azerbaijan 45 degrees, Turkmenistan 46 degrees, Southeast Turkey over 40 degrees. So I've been to many places with extreme heat, and I believe that I have enough experience to talk about it and eventually the information to help someone to avoid problems. I understand that now because it's winter time and outside is cold or at least not hot, it's a little bit more difficult to understand and to absorb all of this information because extreme heat is now at the moment it looks like something far away we cannot experience and anything like that. But if you learn these tips right now, they will definitely come very useful when you need them in the hot summer days or if you plan to go to different parts of the world with different temperatures. If you're from UK, from Europe, it's not that bad, but if you go to Southeast Asia or some more countries that have a different climate, it might be very useful for you. All right, let's start with the tips that I promised because there are 10 altogether and they will take time before I finished. I can see that another one person came. Who is this person? I don't know right now. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Okay, the first tip that I'm gonna give you is to make early starts. If you have to ride in very extreme heat or extreme hot environment, the best that you can do is to make early starts. If necessary, you can ride even 1 or 2 hours in the dark, but all of this will give you the chance to cover many kilometers before the temperatures rise significantly around lunchtime. So, for example, if the sunrise is 5 o'clock, you can wake up at 4 o'clock and have 1 hour in the dark, but it is not going to be that bad because it is not completely dark. It will, around 4:30, you already will have some light, and around 5 o'clock will be completely light outside. And many people might say that if we follow this logic, it will be even better if we were able to ride in the dark during the night. Then we'll have this nice temperature and we can cover even more kilometers. On theory, yes, but not many people are able to do that. And it is also very dangerous because during the night, the vision is limited. You cannot see much. You can miss a big pothole or some stone on the road or muddy spot or something else or water. or animal, and you can have an accident. And it doesn't matter how good is your light, headlight, high beam, or even auxiliary lights, whatever you have, it cannot be the same as daylight. So that's why I think to ride in the night, it's not an option at all. Also, you can fall asleep during the night when you have nothing around to distract you. In general, I don't think that this is a good idea. With the car, yes, but with the motorcycle, I don't think so. And now you might say, yeah, but if you start early morning, in, let's say 4 o'clock, it is the same. It will be still dark and you will still risk a lot. I agree, you will risk a little bit, but it will be a risk for 1 hour, no more than 1 hour. And before you get sleepy, it will be already sunrise and everything will be all right. You will feel all right and then you can continue riding. And this precious 1 or 2 hours early morning will give you, as I said, maybe the maximum mileage that you can get. You will be able to do it early morning. And then from, let's say, sunrise until 10 o'clock, it will be all right. It will be hot, but it will be all right. You'll be able to manage it. And around 10 or 11 o'clock, when it already starts to be more noticeable, the heat will be more noticeable. You will start feeling how your body overheat. And around lunchtime, when the sun is on the top, will be the peak moment where you will understand that it is basically impossible to ride anymore. And then when this moment comes, then it's the second tip that I plan to tell you right now, is to stop, find a source of cold water, maybe a spring, maybe a pipe on the road, or if you don't have these options, you can go to a local gas station or supermarket and buy a bottle of cold water. And with this cold water, what you have to do is to soak your t-shirt, your scarf, your underwear is necessary with cold water. And after that, you have to close your jacket, zip all the way to the top, close all the vents, and all of this will give you the feeling that you're in air conditioning room. It is so nice that you will enjoy it very much. But it is only possible if you have the chance to close the jacket completely, to close even the sleeves properly, to tighten it properly, to close the visor of your helmet. Because when you open the visor and riding in this heat, it's like looking into the oven. That hot, that warm it is. So when it became so hot, soak the t-shirt, close all the zips, all the vents, close the visor, close the sleeves, everything, and you can continue riding in very good comfort for at least 30-40 minutes. After that, your t-shirt will be completely dry and you have to repeat the procedure. But by using this method, you can ride maybe at least 2-3 hours more because of this cooling down system. Without it, it will be just impossible. It will be too hot and you'll be forced to stop. But if you use this method, it will give you another maybe 2 or 3 hours until it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And then you can stop, because basically after 2 in the afternoon, I don't recommend to ride at all, because it will be very hard and you cannot make this trick with the t-shirt all day round, because it will be just too much for your body. But one of the benefits of early starts is that when you start early, you can stop early. And if you start at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, until 2 in the afternoon, you will have in good roads more than 500 kilometers, and it will be more than enough for the day, and then you can stop. And then you have to spend, or you can spend the whole afternoon lying in the bed of your hotel or hostel, ideally with air conditioning, and just chill out or relaxing until the evening. Because in most of these countries where the temperature is very hot in the summer, you cannot do anything in the afternoon. Even if you decided to go around and walk around the city, you realize that there is no one outside because it's just too hot. So if you spend the whole afternoon in the hotel to recharge your batteries, to eat well, to drink water, to take a shower, to sleep if you like on the air conditioning, and then later in the evening after 9 or maybe 8 or 9 or even after 10 p.m. you can go out, because this is exactly what the locals do. The life in this country starts after 8 in the evening. All day no one, and after 8 in the evening they became like ants from everywhere. So many people on the street. And then you can go around and walk and enjoy the whole part, whatever place you like to visit. So this is like a very logical, but I met people that try to do it exactly the opposite. They try to sleep until 9 or 10 o'clock and then try to ride in very, very harsh conditions, which is usually leading to some mistakes and problems on the road. So the next tip that I'm going to give you, number 3, is to make frequent stops. Because if you usually stop once per 2 hours or once per 3 hours, whatever time limitation you use, now in this extreme heat you have to do it more often. I will suggest maximum 1 hour, and then you need to stop, maybe even less, maybe 40-45 minutes, and that's it. And if you use this method with the wet t-shirts, you have to stop for the t-shirt anyway. You have to stop to make it wet again, to relax a bit. It will be necessary anyway. 2 hours is just too much to stay on the motorcycle for 2 hours in this extreme heat. It's not only the heat, but also the motorcycle generates heat, especially some models like KTM with these 2 cylinders. The seat is basically became like a hot plate. It's so hot that you cannot hold it even anymore. One thing I forgot to mention here, that this 3D mesh that I have on my motorcycle, they actually do very good job in very hot climates and in cold climates as well, because they somehow provide like a air cushion between the seat and your ass, and helps in the hot days and in the cold days as well. The next point that I would like to tell you right now is number 4, is definitely to use a hydration pack or hydration bladder in your backpack, because without it, it will be almost impossible to cross these large sections without any shadows, or when it's too hot you definitely need to drink more water. And many people might say that I don't need a hydration pack or hydration bladder, I hate this, I don't like to drink water from pipe, I prefer to have my bottle. And I even saw many people keep their bottles on the crash guards on the motorcycle, so I can stop and drink water anytime. But it is not the same, because when the temperatures are over 40 or 42, 5 degrees, to stop and drink water once per hour is just not enough. And even if you drink the whole bottle at once, from the moment you put your helmet on, you'll be thirsty again, and you'll need to stop and drink again, but you won't stop because you want to make progress. And when you have your hydration pack or hydration bladder on your backpack, you can drink water all the time, even while you ride. If you know, sometimes you ride on very busy road with a lot of traffic and trucks and stuff like that, and you spend, let's say, 20-30 minutes to overtake everyone. And if you stop to drink water, the whole traffic will be right in front of you once again, and you have to make the same maneuvers again. And because of that, you won't stop, or you will not stop. And when you don't stop, you're not gonna drink any water. That's why it's good to have this water always on your shoulder and to be able to drink it all the time. It is that important. And also, when you have this hydration pack, in very extreme hot days, you can add in your water some electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, and all of this stuff, natrium, or whatever you can find on the local markets. If you don't have any of these electrolytes, you can add at least a pinch of salt inside to make the things a little bit better, because if you don't have electrolytes, you'll drink so much water, and because it's so hot, you're not gonna even go to the toilet. You will sweat a lot, and when you sweat a lot, or if you pee a lot, you will pee all of the electrolytes that your body needs, and then the problems will start, because you'll be out of balance. All the minerals and all of these electrolytes will be completely messed, and this might be a big problem. You'll start to feel dizzy, you'll experience some cramps, maybe fatigue and stuff like that, and these are dangerous conditions that might lead you to some serious problems. That's why it's very important to have a lot of water with you, and especially in the very hot days and very hot climates, electrolytes as well. And the next point that I would like to mention now is number 5, is constantly to monitor your urine color, because I'm sure that you're not gonna pee a lot because of the sweating, but when you finally go to pee, check the color of your urine. If it's too orange, too dark orange, does mean that you need more water. If it's clear and more light colors, does mean that you need more electrolytes, or you need more food, or at least electrolytes, or at least a pinch of salt on it. When you have a little bit of salt, the salt tends to hold the water in your body, and the things will be a little bit better. A pinch of salt is not like electrolytes, but at least something, because the salt actually it's one of the electrolytes, sodium, but you need sodium, you need potassium, you need magnesium, you need so many different elements that you cannot get it from the salt. But even a pinch of salt helps a little bit. So check your urine, and when you see that the color is very orange, you definitely need to drink more water. If you see the color is very light or no color at all, you definitely need to stop and maybe eat something. And if you have nothing to eat, drink at least the electrolytes. But this is a condition that it's a little bit dangerous, because the more water you drink, the more you pee or sweat in the hot days. And the more you pee or sweat, the more electrolytes you lose. And because of that, you'll be even more thirsty, and you will like to drink even more water. And when you drink even more water, you will lose even more electrolytes. That's why the frequent stops and drinking enough are so important. And on these frequent stops, try to eat something, a real food. Because, as I said, you might have these electrolytes packages that you bought from the pharmacy, but they are synthetic materials mostly, and they are not the same as the electrolytes that you can get from a real food. So if you have more often or more frequent stops, you can always eat something or drink something, like let's say iron. If you're in Turkey in very hot environment, if you drink iron with salt, it will help you a lot, because in the iron, because it's from milk, you'll have a lot of elements in the milk. You'll have sodium from the salt, or believe it or not, but the beer is a very good mix of everything, and actually helps a lot with electrolytes. In the hot environment, if you got one beer, you will have a good portion of electrolytes just from one beer. But one beer, not one basket. Don't drink 10 beers and expect to be better. You'll get drunk, but not better. So you definitely need more stops. Eat food, or salty food, or cheese, or something like that. That will give you the necessary elements that non-alcohol beer, I don't know, Richard. I know for the alcohol beer, maybe the non-alcohol beer also will give you these benefits. I'm not sure about it, but it is possible. It is possible, yeah. So once again, number 1, early start. Number 2, soak your t-shirts, close all possible vents. Number 3, frequent stops. Number 4, use a hydration bladder. Definitely forget about the bottles. Without the bladder, don't go anywhere in the hot environment. Number 5, monitor your urine color. If it's too dark, drink more water. If it's too light, no colors at all, you have to stop and relax a bit, maybe eat something, drink something, or at least get some electrolytes. Or in the last possible option, a little bit of salt. And then number 6, don't drink coffee or tea. I know that this is advice that not many will like, because people are addicted to coffee, to tea and stuff like that. But the tea and coffees are diuretics. If you drink, let's say, 1 cup of coffee that is like big like this, let's say 250, 300 milliliters, you will pee exactly 3 times more. You will pee 1 liter of liquids that will come from your body. And from these liquids, inside of these liquids, you will lose a lot of electrolytes once again. I'll tell you once again about electrolytes. So coffee or tea, they don't hydrate you. They dehydrate you, because you will pee 3 times more, or you will lose 3 times more water than you actually got from it. And I know that many people are addicted to coffee and tea, but in very hot days, in extreme heat, this is not good idea at all. I have read some articles about coffee in very high temperatures. The coffee somehow regulates the blood pressure, stuff like that. There might be some benefits in this point. I'm not going to argue with anyone about it, but you will definitely lose more water with coffee and tea, definitely. And the next point is don't eat much. In very hot days, don't eat much. And this doesn't mean that you should go without any food all day long. This is not good either. But don't make some very heavy meals during the hot days, because they will stay like a big ball in your stomach and you're not gonna feel so well. But frequent stops and some snacks on the road will keep the balance of the electrolytes that you need. And I talked about it all the time: electrolytes, electrolytes, electrolytes. Because if you can take something, if you can get just one useful information from the whole stream, whatever long it is, it's the electrolytes. Remember these words, remember these elements, and always have this in mind in the hot days. Because if you are able to keep your electrolytes in balance, anything else or the rest of the things are easy to do. But if you unbalance your electrolytes, you will feel so bad that anything else will be disaster. That's why it's so important to remember this word, and to remember that you need to drink, you need to eat, you need to keep the balance in your body. Otherwise, you can't do anything. So don't eat much, but eat often, and good quality breakfast. Eggs, as you know, Richard, eggs are a good source of anything, or any kind of vitamins and minerals and anything. Salty things like cheese, maybe yellow cheese or stuff like that. Milk, yogurt, these are good sources of food that can give you a lot. Maybe some fruits will be a good idea to have a little bit more sugar during the hot days. But not really heavy meals. Heavy meals you can leave it for later in the evening, not during the hot day. Okay, number 8, rest in the afternoon and walk after sunset. This I already said partly with the early starts, but you definitely need to rest in the afternoons to have enough power to ride on the next day as well. If you don't have enough time in the afternoon or in the evening when you finish the ride to relax properly, you won't be able to continue on the next day again and again and again. That's why it's a very good idea. Every afternoon, 2-3 o'clock, make sure that you're in the hotel and you have more than enough time lying and doing nothing, just to recharge your body, to relax properly, and to be ready for the next day. And the last 2 tips that I'm gonna give you right now, number 9 and number 10, they're not really related to you and your body. They are more related to the motorcycle, but they are somehow indirectly directed to you as well. Because if you have a serious breakdown situation in the middle of nowhere and you cannot fix it on very high temperatures over 45 degrees, this so-called indirect connection will become very direct, because you will have a problem. You cannot move, and you have to stay on the sun on very hot environment. That's why, as I said, they are not really connected with you, but they are very important. And the first is to don't ride your motorcycle on the high RPMs. Because on the very hot temperature, the engine already works very hard to cope with all of these conditions. The engine works, the cooling system works hard, everything works hard. So you don't need to twist the throttle more, then you don't need to make the situation even worse. Just keep it slowly, keep it gently. If you need to accelerate, make it slowly. Don't need to push hard, and you will even feel it. When you twist the throttle, your motorcycle will make like this, but it's not gonna work properly. In the cold environment, on the cold air, when you twist the throttle, it will fly, but not in the hot. And the reason of that is because when the air is heated, it's actually expand, and the injection system or the carburetor cannot get the same amount of oxygen inside. That's why it's you will feel the lack of power, and everything will work much harder. And you don't need to twist much to make the things even worse. And another one that I can give you right now is when you stop somewhere and when your motorcycle is working, if you hear the cooling fan is working, the cooling fan of your engine is working, don't turn off the ignition before the fan stops. Because let's say on the Tenere, the cooling fan starts at 105 degrees. And if I turn off the engine immediately and turn it on again after 2 minutes, the engine temperature will be already like 108, almost 110 degrees. Because the coolant is stopped and it cannot finish the job that it has. If you wait for a minute or two, it will work until the temperature drop, let's say, to 100 degrees, and then the fan will be off. But if you off the engine until the fan working, I hope that you got the idea. It's a little bit difficult for me to explain, But if you turn it off immediately, the temperature will rise even more. It's not that the engine will be destroyed from one off, or if you never work with this system, it will be destroyed. But it's, as I said, it's a hard condition for the engine. Hard conditions, so you don't need to make them even more harder. So more or less, these are the things that I wanted to say. I'm gonna give you even one bonus tip. It's about forget to sleep, forget about sleeping in the tent at all. Because in these conditions, to sleep in the tent, it's not a good idea at all. You won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to sleep much. You'll be exhausted. And if you continue trying to sleep in the tent, you'll be exhausted after 2-3 days and you'll start making mistakes. Tent, it's a good idea when the temperatures are around 20-25 degrees, something like that. Under 10 and over 35, I don't recommend to use a tent at all. It's just not a good idea. If you want to feel adventure, and if the tent make you feel adventure, all right, but it's not gonna give you any good. I cannot even imagine to ride all day on the temperatures over 40 degrees and then sleep in the tent. This is just impossible to me. I never done it and I will never do it, because in the tent will be like a sauna. It will be so bad that I don't even need to think about it. All right, guys, this was everything that I planned. Now, if you want to add something or if you want to ask me something, go ahead. I'll be glad if I can help. Richard, when you get off the bike and take your helmet off, put a sun hat on, cover up, and possibly stop in the shade. Yes, absolutely. Especially if you don't have much hair like me and you, Richard, you definitely need a sun hat. Many people like to use some sun cream or stuff like that. I never use it. I think that they harm more than they help. But if you have a very white skin, maybe you'll need some sun protection as well. You definitely stop on the shade. This is absolutely must, because you'll be forced anyway. You won't be able to handle it. I don't know, guys. Did you ever had the chance to ride on such a high temperatures, over 40 degrees? Let me know, please. If you can travel with a suite with vents and open them, then suite needs vents on the back too. Yes, if you have a good ventilated gear, it will be usually with front vents and then back vents, because the air needs to go from somewhere and go out from another source. Just to let you know that I forgot to say it here in the stream, that mesh jackets are not really good idea to be used in very extreme heat, because your body will be exposed to the hot air all the time, and you will dehydrate yourself very fast. It is more or less like to ride without any jacket. I have seen also many people on the hot days, they remove their jackets and ride on t-shirts. This is not a good idea at all. First of all, the sun will burn you everywhere, and second, you will dehydrate your body very, very fast. Richard, yes, 40 plus degrees in Greece, extremely hot. Yeah, so you know what I mean. It's like you cannot understand it until you experience it. I have seen people talking about it, but finally when they got it, oh man, it's hard. And over 40, over 45, 46, as I said, it's like open the oven. Wow, so warm, so hot. So you definitely need to be careful with these things. And another topic that it's discussed all the time, it's about the color of the gear. And many people believe that if they have a white riding gear, they will feel much better in the hot days. And my experience, it's not exactly like that. I tried with white gear. I tried with many different colors, and I can tell you for sure that when it's hot, no matter what kind of gear you have. Maybe the white gear will give you 1 or 2 degrees less, but it's not going to help much. It is more important to have the right gear instead of having the light gear, if you understand what I mean. If you have the right gear, that will ventilate very well. The ventilation works really well until 35, 38 degrees. Then you have to close it. So in my opinion, it's much better to have the right gear instead of the light gear, if you understand what I mean. Another point is the helmet. What helmet should you have, white or black? And again, many people believe that if they have black helmet, it's going to be much hot in the summer, and the white helmet will keep them cool. I don't believe in this either, because there's no logic at all. As you know, the helmet has a foam inside, and the foam inside is usually like 2, 3, maybe 5 centimeters, and might be even more in some places. And the foam is very good insulation, so there is no real difference what is on the top and what is inside of your helmet. And I even saw a guy on YouTube making a video about it, and he used a small temperature sensor inside of the helmet to see the proper temperature, and he proved that a black helmet or white helmet, it doesn't matter, the inside temperature is about the same. I think the difference was not even half degree, something like that, and it could be also from the situation where exactly the sun was at that moment. So it's no big difference in the helmet, and in the gear very little, and I don't think you need even to worry about it. Another good point is that the white gear cannot be washed properly, and we already discussed it many times. Yes, short mileage is definitely something that helps, because you cannot do much anyway, so you have to slow down. TN Traveler, Richard, before I go somewhere hot, I take my many saunas and steams, but to help acclimatize before I go out, all do saunas regularly anyway. Yeah, this might be a good idea. If you really cannot go without coffee and tea, at least drink tea and hot teas. If you drink very cold drinks during the hot day, it makes exactly the opposite. It just makes you sweating even more. If you have a hot tea, somehow it's level the temperatures inside of your body and outside, and it is even better. That's why in all of these Arabian countries or South Asian countries, in the summer they drink a lot of tea. It's even better. Okay, Vato, no worries. Richard, I tinted a visor or sunglasses to help with glare. I might be difficult to see properly. A tinted visor or sunglasses to help with glare might be difficult to see properly. The best option, in my opinion, is just to have integrated sunglasses, because you can put it down when you need them and then take it off when you don't need them. If you have a tinted visor, yeah, it will be fine when you have a really nice sunny day, but if you go to a tunnel, for example, it will be dark and it will be difficult for you to see everything properly, especially if it's not so good road conditions. So that's why integrated sunglasses in the helmet, it's everything that I needed, and it helps me without any problems. But good points. Thanks for adding, Richard. What are you cooking, Vato? I am in the middle of editing about the video for tomorrow. I just stopped for a second to do this live stream, and after we finish with you, I'm gonna continue with editing, and once the editing is ready, I will upload it to Patreon for Patreon's early access. But anyway, if you're not Patreon, tomorrow on the main channel, the video 8 o'clock will be live. We're gonna discuss, in the video, I will discuss exactly the same things like now. Vato, pork and potatoes in a pan. Harapuri today. Hachapuri. Excellent. Good combination. I eat a lot of pork and potatoes as well. Enjoy your meal. Richard, if you carry extra water, carrying it in a down cloth or top on your luggage will help keep it cool. My science teacher said that she was latent transfers of heat, whatever, it keep it cool. Yeah, it's a good idea. I usually don't carry extra water unless it's in conditions where I cannot get any water. Now, for example, in Brazil, we carry extra water because in the jungle, we had no possible options to have water if we need it. And even if the water get hot, it is still water, because hot water is still water, no water, it's no water at all. So It's a good idea to have it somewhere on the better place if you have. And the best place is the hydration pack, but if it's not enough, as I said, in Brazil we have our hydration packs full with 2 liters of water, but we had another 4 liters per person extra in the saddlebags in the case we need it. So it's a good idea to have a good place for it. You can have some kind of thermal packages if it's so important to you. But as I said, hot water is still water. You can still drink and hydrate yourself when it's necessary. And about the hydration pack or the hydration bladder, many people say that they hate it because after half an hour the water inside will be like a tea. Yes, it will be, but it will be still water when you need it. And also, you have to stop every 30-40 minutes or maximum 1 hour. You have to stop anyway because of the heat. You cannot ride much. And usually every time when I stop, I just change the water, buy another one, cold water from gas stations, and exchange the water in my hydration bladder. And then in the next 20-30 minutes I'm perfectly fine with cold water. I feel it even better. Maybe think about your route, and non-city or build-up route will keep you moving and maintain airflow. Yeah, absolutely. If you have ahead a big city, does mean you spend a lot of time in the traffic, because the worst is in the traffic. When you stop, you will feel how you sweat, and you will feel the drops how go around your body, in your helmet, in your boots, and this is very, very bad feeling, very nasty feeling. So of course, if you have the chance to move, you will cool down yourself even better. It's a good advice to avoid big cities and traffic in very hot days. And for that reason, early start will help a lot, because it's one story to cross a town 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. It's another to do it in lunchtime, and it will be disaster. Good tip. Thanks for adding, Richard. All right, guys, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes if you want to add something, and then we will finish the stream here. Next week, I might do it open for everyone. I don't know yet. I might do it for channel members and Patreons again. We'll see how it's going, what the decision I will take in the last moment. Vato, I'm a bald man who shave head every 2nd day, and I always wear helmet, inner cooling, so I don't have sweat drops coming from my head and the face of thing. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, it's an annoying situation. I don't like it at all, but it is what it is, you know. It feels exactly like a bug. I think I'm tip at all, but I'm very interested. Look forward to hot riding. Yeah. Hot riding is better than no riding at all. But today, as I said, 7 degrees, not that bad, but I didn't put my thermal underwear. I went just like that. Light, because I said for a short period of time it will be alright, but on the way back it was cold, and when I finally stopped in the garage I was shivering a little bit. So I came into the house and spent the next 20-30 minutes trying to warm myself, putting all air conditionings to the max. So it's not, as I said in the beginning, now when it's cold outside, it's not really easy to understand all of this, what we're talking about. But it will definitely come. And everyone who ever rode on the hot environment know what I mean. Alright guys, thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel one way or another. I wish you a wonderful evening, and see you next week, or whatever our road crosses. Ciao.